Hi, I'm Certified Cicerone Amy Beers, and it's time for Indy's Beer of the Month. My pick for March is the Winner's Milk Jug Milk Stout from Guggman Haus Brewery. It is a sweet, roasty, smooth, full-bodied milk stout that I think is just perfect for drinking outside in chilly weather. Plus, it has some pretty cool ties to the Indy 500. Plus, I felt like March was a really good time to feature stout because, St. Patrick's Day is just around the corner, and who doesn't like Guinness? If you'd like to learn about the history of Guinness, make sure you are subscribed to my channel. My next video, I will be talking about the history of stout, and particularly the Irish stout that opened doors and paved the way for many of today's modern dark craft beer lovers. Later in this video, we'll be talking with Courtney Guggenberger, who is one of the owners of Guggman Haus, to talk more about the Winner's Milk Jug Milk Stout on this episode of Drinking with Beers. With the COVID pandemic prioritizing outdoor seating among establishments, beer drinkers and brewery owners alike have turned to beer gardens as an oasis. Obviously, with winter, that became somewhat of a challenge, but nothing will keep us from our beloved beer. Some places offer solitary igloos and others stock up on outdoor heaters amid chilly weather. One such place is the beer garden here at Guggman Haus, and as you can see, they have plenty of outdoor heaters that have been keeping their patrons warm all winter. Plus, you can BYOB, bring your own blankets for additional coziness. And I just love it. It reminds me of this chilly November trip to Prague. I remember sitting at an outdoor cafe in Old Town and wishing that more places back home in Indiana had outdoor seating to enjoy during the colder months. There is just something about being warm and breathing in that fresh, cool, crisp air. And of course, enjoying a pint. And speaking of pints, this month's Beer of the Month feature is the Winner's Milk Jug Milk Stout from Guggman Haus. So with milk stout, there's actually no milk in the beer. It's called a milk stout because it gets its sweetness from a milk sugar called lactose. Lactose can also be found in food products that we're all pretty familiar with, yogurt and ice cream. In beer, yeast go to work converting sugars from grains into alcohol. Lactose, however, is a sugar that the yeast are not able to convert, so what happens is the yeast leave behind those sugars. And it's those residual sugars from the lactose that gives the beer its sweetness. It also contributes a smooth, silky texture and adds to the body of the beer. Some breweries borrow from Guinness by adopting the nitrogen draft method, which accentuates those lactose characteristics. Milk stouts originated in the UK during the late 19th century and was marketed as a healthful tonic for nursing mothers. But we're not here to talk about nursing mothers. We're here to talk about the modern day milk stout, and particularly the Winner's Jug Milk Stout here at Guggman Haus. If you're from Indianapolis, and even if you're not, and you're a huge fan of racing, the Winner's Milk Jug Milk Stout is named after a famous Indy 500 tradition where the winner of the race drinks milk. The tradition dates back to 1936 after three-time Indy 500 winner Louis Mayer drank buttermilk from a large glass bottle at Victory Lane. An executive of the Milk Foundation happened to notice and took a photograph of the event for the newspaper. He was so excited that he vowed to make sure the winner drank milk from then on out. Except now, instead of buttermilk, winners have different milk options. If you've been to Guggman Haus or you've been following their construction updates on their social media, you're probably aware of the brewery's ties to Indianapolis racing. So Guggman Haus is located on the grounds of the old Boyle Racing headquarters. The former garage that was once home to Indy 500 champion Wilbur Shaw and other famous drivers, which is located next to the house, is lovingly being restored as a large taproom, event space, and Boyle Racing memorabilia garage. And here to tell us more and talk about the Winner's Milk Jug Milk Stout is Courtney Guggenberger.
I am Courtney Guggenberger. I'm one of the owners here at Guggman Haus Brewing Company. So the Winner's Milk Jug, it's our house milk stout. It's part of our core lineup that we have year-round. And it is made with a malt profile of 7 different malts, including 2 different varieties of chocolate malt, roasted barley. It has milk sugars, lactose in it as well. And it comes in at 6.4% ABV, so kind of right in the middle. and it has a lot of notes of chocolate, coffee, and it's creamy and drinkable. So the property we're on right now, where we're located, in the 30s and 40s, it was home to Wilbur Shaw and the Boyle Racing team. Wilbur Shaw was 3-time winner of the Indy 500, and there's a lot of history that was within these walls behind me decades ago. And so when we were naming our core beers and looking at the lineup of them, we wanted some that reflected the racing history. And so Winner's Milk Jug is a nod to the tradition of chugging milk at the end of the race that the winner does every year. Back in 2015, we were looking for a place for our brewery. We'd been homebrewing for over 5 years, me and my twin sister and our husbands and our brother-in-law. And so we were looking for a place to grow our business, to start our family business. And we were looking mainly in Broad Ripple at the time, because that's where we lived. And then through a meeting we had, things just fall into place and how they're supposed to happen. But we met with this group of historic racing enthusiasts that were looking to save the building behind us from a complete city demo. And the history here in the 30s and 40s, it was home to Wilbur Shaw, the Boyle Racing team. And so there's a ton of history that is in these walls. The Speedway would not be the way it is today if not for Wilbur Shaw. And so they were looking to save this building, bring the legacy of the Boyle Racing team back to life, but they needed a business to sign on to help bring it to life as well and kind of be an anchor here. And so we saw the vision, and it was a much larger project than we had really imagined at the time, but we ended up opening in the house when this building was taking too long. We had our logo created even before the house, before we knew we were going to be in a house. We wanted something that felt like an extension of our homes. So we've opened in the house next door, and the building behind us should be ready in the next few months. The building behind us, it's going to have an event room that has historic brick. So really the entire space we're pulling in elements from the original building as much as we can. Over the last few years, a lot of stuff had to be taken down for safety reasons, but the brick walls are left. We have a lot of the original beams and boards that we're going to incorporate into the design. But we'll have an event room, a tap room, a kitchen, and then to the left over here is a garage that'll have a lot of the Boyle Racing memorabilia and hold a historic hauler that used to haul the race cars between here and the track. It's been restored and it's beautiful. So that'll go there, and then we have a brewery, our brewing space. Right now we brew in the basement of the house, which we've outgrown. We now have a refrigerator outside, a barn outside holding fermenters. So we'll be able to move around and actually have people into the brewing space. And then we have a warehouse that we can grow into. It'll be for storage to start. And we're about a few months away. We're working on it day in and day out to get it open and to get everything in place. I'm very proud of Indianapolis. I feel like we've embraced the winter this year, and people showed up when it was 20 degrees out here with blankets under these heaters to enjoy a beer. And I think we've been fortunate in that regard that we have the seating out here. It's been almost exactly a year since we've had people sitting inside. And so we've been open way longer outside with no seating than we were inside, which for a business that was just opening, it's been a crazy roller coaster. But we've made the most out of this beer garden, and it's been wonderful to see people enjoy it.
Thanks for watching. I know spring is just around the corner, but it is always a good time to be outside and enjoy a pint, especially when it's a little chilly. I just love warming up with a really good stout. So come on down to Guggman Haus. It is a great place to come year-round. Pick up some of this Winner's Jug Milk Stout. You can drink it here at the beer garden or take it home via carry-out. Thanks again for watching. I'm Amy Beers. Happy drinking and cheers.